My wife Kelsey is from Boise, Idaho, and I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah. Because of this, we often find ourselves driving back and forth to visit friends and family. Usually the drive feels long and boring, so I started looking for things we could do for fun along the way. After a little research, I found 5 places that can be visited along the way from Salt Lake City and Boise. Let's check it out. Okay, so let's start on the Boise side and work our way down into Utah. So this first one is a town called Glenn's Ferry. It's a little town that I've passed through many times, but I've never stopped there. I thought it looked cool because it goes right up against the Snake River. So we decided to go in and find out what's going on. Glenn's Ferry is a very small but pleasant community with a few shops, restaurants, and camping areas. We stumbled upon the historic Opera Theater, a hidden gem which offers dinner and a show. We also found the Crossings Vineyard, which sources grapes for the wine at Tannins Tavern restaurant. We didn't have time to stop there, but it looked pretty good. Our favorite spot was 3 Island Crossings State Park. This is a great place for people interested in history, as there's tons of information about the Oregon Trail on signs and in the visitor center. There are tons of grassy areas, which made this a perfect place to get our dog out of the car for a few minutes. If you have more time, you could camp here or stay in one of the small cabins on site. For a little entertainment, you could play the 18-hole disc golf course or do a little fishing on the Snake River. To visit Glenn's Ferry, you take exit 120 or 121 and head into downtown. Alright, so this next spot is called Gorge in Hagerman, Idaho. Now this spot is super easy to miss if you don't know what's there. And I've driven like right over this gorge so many times and I had no idea it was there until recently. So this is a gorge that features a 250-foot deep canyon with a 60-foot waterfall at the bottom. The reason it's easy to miss is because there is a concrete barrier that is just high enough so you can't really see the gorge from the freeway. When you get off the freeway and go through the gates to the area, you'll be given a brochure, which also doubles as a guide to a self-guided tour of the gorge. There's a pretty cool footbridge which takes you across the gorge and leads to some easy hiking trails. Take one of the trails to get great views of the waterfall. Now be sure to be careful of the edge of the gorge, as a fall would be catastrophic. If heights or walking aren't your thing, you can continue driving west to reach a few viewpoints with sturdy guardrails. If you want to check it out, take I-84 exit 147 and follow the signs for Gorge State Park. Okay, so this next place is a bigger city called Twin Falls, Idaho. Now this place isn't much of a secret, but features some incredibly impressive landscapes. I like it because from the interstate, you have no idea that there is a 500 feet deep gorge just a few minutes away. If you take I-84 exit 173 and head south, you will soon cross the Perrine Bridge, the 8th highest bridge in the United States. This is a popular spot for adventure seekers, as this is a legal base jumping site. Once you cross the bridge, you will find a comfortable area with a stunning view, walking path, and visitor center. In my opinion, even if you don't have much time, it's worth exiting the freeway to come check this out. If you want to explore further, you could go check out Shoshone Falls, a massive waterfall that is taller than the famous Niagaras. This area also has a very nice park, which would be great for picnicking or running around for a few minutes. Okay, so this next one is a very small town called Albion. Albion made the list because of its beauty, history, and recreational opportunities. To get there, you take Declo exit 216 or Sublet Malta exit 245, depending on which way you come from. When you first enter Albion, you will see a large water tower on the property of the old Albion Normal School, a college which was forced to close in 1951 due to low enrollment and funding. This property was abandoned and later purchased by a family who have repurposed each of the buildings. One of them has been remodeled and can be booked for family reunions complete with barbecues, bikes, outdoor games, and water activities. Another building has been renovated for large events and gatherings. The rest of the buildings are incredibly creepy, and while entry isn't permitted by the public, the doors open every year during Halloween and become official haunted houses. This is a great place to visit if you want to get your scare on. If you continue through Albion, you will come to the road going to Pomerelle Ski Resort. In a matter of minutes, the sagebrush turns into pine and aspen, and there are pullouts with amazing views of the valley. This road is certainly worth checking out if you want to go on a scenic drive. If you go higher, you will arrive at Pomerelle Ski Resort, a small local ski resort with 2 ski lifts and a magic carpet. Finally, if you have a little extra time, you could make your way over to the City of Rocks, an Idaho state park packed full of hiking, camping, hunting, and world-class rock climbing. Be sure to visit the visitor center in Almo to stock up on information about the park. Another noteworthy thing is that the park is all accessed by dirt roads, but most vehicles should be able to make it if you don't mind a fair amount of washboard and dust. We're now going to enter into Utah for the last stop on our list. This is called the Golden Spike in Promontory, Utah. This is an amazing spot for anyone who loves history. The story goes that in the 1830s, the American people wanted to build a transcontinental railroad. The result was the Central Pacific building from California and the Union Pacific building from New York. They each worked through different challenges with different paces, but ended up joining together right here in Promontory Point. In 1869, 2 locomotives pulled up to the small gap in the rails, and a golden spike was symbolically tapped. The last iron spike was installed, and America then had a railroad across the entire country. If you time your visit right, you might even get to see replicas of the first locomotives to visit Promontory. If you really have some extra time, follow the road out for 15 more miles to see the Spiral Jetty, a huge rock sculpture on the shore of the Great Salt Lake. If you come here in the evening, you'll have a stunning view of the sunset over the lake. Keep in mind that once you leave the Golden Spike, you will need to drive on dirt roads to get to the Spiral Jetty. It's doable in most vehicles, but very dusty. I hope you've enjoyed learning about some of the cool spots to visit between Salt Lake City and Boise. Now, go out there, have some fun, and go see the world. Thanks for watching.
Boy, I'm flexing. Sports, little nigga. There ain't no question. Ain't about paper, then you being redirected. You ain't get the memo, you need to read the message. I say salsa, finna run a boss. Dip it like a faucet. Haters get a ball. Look at me stunt. I don't do it often. Boy, I'm sick. Excuse my coughing. Trunk in the front of the Porsche. 450 horse.